Hey, what's going on, Who That Nation? It is yours truly, TJ Jones, the host of the State of the Saints podcast. And on this edition of the State of the Saints podcast, we're going to be talking about quarterback Drew Brees. That's right, we're going to be talking about the Saints quarterback and his very controversial comments. You know, I thought it would be only right that I open the phone lines back up for this night because I know about these controversial comments and I know how a lot of people are affected by them. A lot of people are outraged, or they have a lot of people that may want to defend the quarterback. Um, I'm just gonna go ahead and I'm just gonna start it off, man. For those that don't know, Drew Brees, he went on. I think he was on a stream, Yahoo Finance, and the comments about the things that were going on in his country. Of course, I'm talking about the tragic murder, and that's right, I'm calling it a murder of George Floyd at the hands of Minneapolis police. And it got a lot of people outraged. You got people that are out there protesting. You got people that are out there rioting and really frustrated at the conditions that African Americans deal with in this country. And Drew Brees was asked about, just about the protest itself, and also, about Colin Kaepernick and the national anthem. And of course, Drew Brees, he gave a little bit of a politically correct answer, but he then went in and talked about how he felt like taking a knee is out of respect for his grandfather, and his grandfather was in the military, and he just he think it's respectful for people not to take a knee, for them to put their hand on their heart and look towards the flag. And yeah, this made a lot of people upset, man. And a lot of people weren't just individuals that were on Twitter, it was his own teammates. People that are key contributors to the success of Drew Brees, like Alvin Kamara, like Michael Thomas, like newly acquired, wide receiver Emmanuel Sanders, newly acquired former Saint, former Eagle, back New Orleans Saint Malcolm Jenkins, and even Cam Jordan. These are the guys that are going to be in the locker room with Drew Brees. Now, damn, what we got to say. I hate to say it like that, but we can give our opinions, but we'll never. Chances are we'll probably never see Drew Brees in our lifetime, unless we go to a training camp or something. But these guys are in the trenches with Drew Brees. They are the guys that Drew Brees has to lean on in order for the Saints to be successful, for them to have an opportunity to go to a championship. And these guys are upset at Drew Brees. And before, I give my comments about how I feel about the situation, I just want to open up the phone lines, man. The phone lines are open. You can call in, you can give your opinion about Drew Brees, or you can comment on YouTube. You can also just leave a comment. Let me know how you feel about the situation. But the topic and the question tonight is: has these comments by Drew Brees changed your opinion about him? A lot of people feel a different type of way about Drew Brees tonight, than they felt last night. So, has these comments changed your mind about the quarterback? I would love to hear from you. All right, so let's go ahead and start it off, man. I'm go ahead and look at the chat right here. Go ahead and start from the top here. Smashing comments says not Drew. Darren Grant says not Drew indeed. Justin Wallace says yes, we are black first. Nobody is above racist rhetoric. Not even Drew. Lost a lot of respect for him today. Mm. Okay, Melly Mel, ATL said, "What's good, Saints fans? It's y'all Falcon brother, man. F Breeze." Wow. Chemo Slice says that hurt TJ. Brian Arbor says Drew Brees. It looked like a middle finger, 100. Michael Anderson says I'm completely in disarray, man. Michael Alexander says completely. Man, so a lot of people are really upset about this, man. The Truth Hurt says, "I'm not trying to be disrespectful on your channel, Mr. TJ Jones, the host of the State of the Saints podcast, but Drew Brees is an idiot." Wow, man. A lot of people are very upset about what Drew Brees had to say. No doubt about it. Um, I'm gonna be real with you, Who That Nation. I'm gonna be real. I don't really like talking about political things on the State of the Saints podcast, not because I shy away from it. Anybody that knows me, outside of the State of the Saints know that I am a person that is willing to stand on the front line in the name of equality, social justice, or what have you. But I try to differentiate the two because I understand how political situations and the climate that we're in right now can actually draw a wedge between people, and it can also to bring the worst out of people. With this whole, stuff that's going on with the riots and the protests, and the stuff that's going on with George Floyd, you got people out here, that are very frustrated, with the president. Some people still backing the president, and when you have a climate like that, it really frustrates a lot of people. It really hurts a lot of people. A lot of people feel like they're right. Other people feel like that some people are complaining about this, and they try to talk about all these other different situations. And to be quite honest, I try to bring people together. Anybody that comes on the State of the Saints podcast for the most part is a Saints fan. And the one thing that we have in common is the fact that we're Saints fans. And no matter if we agree about a play or disagree, at the end of the day, the one common goal is for us to all, cheer for the Saints on Sunday, on Monday, on Thursday, whenever they play. This right here, man, is just absolutely ridiculous. Like, it was just so unnecessary. But I will say this, folks. I think we as people, I'm talking about if you actually believe in equality, if you actually believe in justice, if you actually believe in wanting justice for George Floyd and feel like the officers that did it and put the knee on the neck of George Floyd and the other ones that held them down and the other one that watched, if you feel like they need to, go to jail or something needs to happen to them, I say to you tonight or today or whatever you're watching this, don't take the bait. Don't take the bait. This happens every single time. This is one of those moments where, man, bump all the rioting and stuff like that, man. Go leave that where it's at, okay? I feel like that's nothing but media propaganda and BS, okay? Because, they want to say who fault it is. But I'm talking about the individuals that are out in the street, that are black, white, Asian, Hispanic, people out there marching in unison together about the tragic death of George Floyd. What Drew Brees said had absolutely nothing to do with what's going on with George Floyd. Absolutely nothing. Honestly, man, taking a knee for the national anthem has absolutely nothing to do with what happened with George Floyd. Man, nobody cares about, I hate to say it like this, I'm not saying that I'm disrespecting America, but nobody cares about a flag right now. Okay, a flag is not going to bring back George Floyd. He's not. Not going to bring the guy back. So for people that's out here talking about a flag and all that kind of stuff, man, it's irrelevant. One didn't have nothing to do with the other. And I feel like that's what the media tries to do. They try to put in stories. They try to deflect the situation at hand. I think everybody, I know this has become a cliche now, but people talk about stay woke. You know what I'm saying? Like, now it is really time for us to stay woke and realize, man, that they always trying to change the narrative. They're always trying to get our minds off what actually is going on. And this situation with Drew Brees is a prime example of that. And if we're not careful, we're going to end up, being in a very rough place. Very rough place. So, what Drew Brees had to say, I mean, as upsetting as it was, it had absolutely nothing to do with George Floyd. And I think we need to understand that too. Darren Grant says he just really ignorant to the things going on around him. There's nothing Drew can do when the fans, when the fans and teammates back. Time for Drew to go. Disappointed. He is not racist, but he has disrespected the whole black community. Joe Horn's statement. Okay, I got a call in. Hello, you on the State of the Saints?
Yes, sir.
Hey, what's going on, man?
TJ Jones, how are you, sir?
Hey, how you doing, man? This Iceman T.
No, so this is Bruce from Shreveport, Louisiana.
Hey, how you doing, Bruce, man? We're talking about Drew Brees tonight. Want to know what you think?
Well, thanks, sir. It's quite a bit of a sorrowful state for us for the 2020 season, I feel,
Mm-hmm.
because regardless of the remarks in which Mr. Brees has made, Mr. Brees is not thinking about the players and how they're feeling right now, and he's overlooking the fact, to me, in my opinion, as far as all of the coaching or what have you, nobody wants to deal with another situation that has gone on with Colin Kaepernick. But right now, they're waking up to this. I feel it's a great thing. We understand what Breeze is saying, but right now, I think that what he's feeling, as you've mentioned before, and I'm watching your podcast now, this stuff has nothing to do with the flag.
Yeah.
But in reference to our 2020 season, this type of situation can affect the players.
Yeah. That's true.
I feel that it can affect their plays or what have you in personal emotions, and that's not good for the Saints or for the Saints fans.
Right. So let me ask you this: how do you think the players are going to react now that they heard this? From Drew Brees. Like, you have some players that were on social media, and these are really good football players. These are guys that are key contributors to the Saints' success. So my question to you is, what do you think is going to happen? What do you think is going to draw a wedge in between the players?
I truly feel that our problem, such as this, as we see now, it's already started
Right.
to affect. And again, by his comments, Mr. Breeze is only thinking about himself at the moment.
Hmm.
And I'd hate to say something more in depth that could really place him in a terrible, situation than what it is, because Breeze has done a lot of wonderful things for New Orleans,
Right.
and people looked up to him. And I know that there are some who still do, but in a case like this, I think he should have thought that interview way ahead of what it is and just planned it. But unfortunately, he didn't. He didn't plan this right.
Right.
There's no true way to get out of this.
Right.
It doesn't matter how he feels at the moment, because I'm pretty sure that he's shell-shocked to hear all the responses. And it's not just about the Saints. There are other teams
Right.
who are speaking out in reference to this.
Yeah. It's not a good look, man. It's not a good look at all.
It's not a good look. We're talking the entire organization right now. But what really hurts the worst, this could be your last year.
Yep.
This is the way you would want to go out,
Yeah. I mean,
by having such an unprofessional interview.
right.
And Breeze is about professionalism, or showed himself to be about professionalism per se. This is not a great look.
Nah, it's not a good look at all, man. I 100% agree with you on that. But man, once again, man, thank you for the call. I really appreciate you calling in. Thank you so much calling all the way from Shreveport, brother.
I thank you so much, sir.
All right, take care.
Keep going with the show.
All right, thank you, man. Appreciate it. Hey, but yeah, I mean, who? It just wasn't a smart idea by Drew Brees. I mean, it just wasn't. It wasn't a smart idea by Drew Brees because, man, I think a lot of people. I think a lot of people are probably thinking to themselves, man, Drew Brees said this, but nobody is going to remember this. I'm going to tell y'all something about Saints fans, and I'm going to tell you about people in New Orleans. People in New Orleans don't forget nothing, okay? Like, they straight up elephants when it comes to things. They will hold grudges forever, okay? So for all those people that saying, oh, it's not a big deal, or I seen people when I put on the State of Saints podcast social media page on Facebook, I put, some of the players actually unfollow Drew Brees on Twitter. And they were like, oh, it's not a big deal. Like hell, it's not. It is a very big deal. If you got Michael Thomas, Alvin Kamara, Emmanuel Sanders, and Cam Jordan, along with Malcolm Jenkins, basically, unfollowing you, frustrated with you, upset with you about that. Oh man, this is really serious right here. Over the past couple of years, we have really enjoyed the Saints locker room chemistry. After every game, you see guys dancing in the locker room and stuff like that. Like with the strobe light and all that kind of stuff. We had Teddy Bridgewater doing a motorbike. All these different wonderful things in the locker room. This right here can actually destroy a locker room, man. And we can go back to the dark ages around 2014 to about 2015 or 16 with stuff like this, man. When we're talking about what's going on in this country, rather you are watching the news or paying attention to it or not, it is affecting the entire climate. People are very upset at what's going on. And honestly, and I hate to say it, I know I got a lot of people out there, that probably thinking like this, man. I turn on the TV, I turn on the news, I turn on sports, everybody's talking about it. I'm tired of hearing about it. Well, I hate to say it, as an African-American male, ladies and gentlemen, we are tired of hearing that African-American males are getting beat and even killed by the police and nothing happens to them. So the way that y'all feel about the sports, the way that y'all feel about this being everywhere and you can't escape it. Imagine being black for the rest of your life and can't escape it and the injustices of this world. I'm just telling you the truth. I'm just a messenger tonight. It's much more than just Drew Brees having some comments. People are really tired. People are really tired of watching these things occur. And it's only so many times that these things are going to continue to occur and people are going to be like, well, man, what you going to do about it? What you going to do about it? I said it on the last podcast. Even the biggest nerd, the biggest geek that you can find, eventually will get fed up and go after that bully that has been bullying him, even if he don't win the fight. And I said this, if he goes up to the bully and he defends himself, he will go home and look at that black eye and he will look at it as a badge of honor. Case in point, what's going on in this country. Now, we understand the system is broken and you got a lot of people out here that are living in denial and refuse to fix it or don't feel like nothing is wrong with it, or they rather deflect and say it's this person's fault or that person's fault, besides looking at themselves and say, what can I do to create change? Regardless if you're for it or not, it's going to happen, okay? It is going to happen, and people are going to continue to fight, okay? And it may be a losing battle from time to time, but when people going out there and protesting, when people out there shouting from the rooftops and they're saying how they feel in their hearts about the injustice that's going on in this country, they feel like they want to fight, even though they're standing in a mirror with a black eye. Phone lines are wide open, ladies and gentlemen. I know a few people actually called earlier. I only can take one call at a time, so I apologize for that. If somebody's on the line, I only can take one phone call at a time. But feel free to call in, man. Voice your opinion, man. If you're for Drew Brees, you support what he did. If you want to have something to say, I want to hear from you. What do you think about his teammates? How do you think the teammates are going to react to Drew Brees when they go back into the locker room? Do you think the relationships can be salvaged? Or do you think there's still going to be thoughts in the back of the minds of the players about Drew Brees? So I would love to hear from you. 337, you're on the State of the Saints. Hello? Guess 337, he hung up. 337, call back, man. I don't know, man. Let's go to the chat. Cedric Rogers says he has no clue. Chance Martin says time for Drew to go. Wow, man. Drew GD Brees. Drew GD Brees says Are the phone lines off? No, the phone line's not off, Drew. Like I said, only can take them one at a time, man. 808, you're on the State of the Saints.
Hey, what up, TJ?
Hey, what's going on, man? How you doing?
Pretty good. How about you?
I'm doing okay, man. We're talking about Drew Brees. What you got to say?
Well, I got pros and cons to it both, my man.
Okay.
Pros and cons.
Okay.
I'm hurt, but I see that there will be, regulation. They will come back together as a team. I've been a Saints fan from the early '90s, man.
Mm-hmm.
So I see that yes, there was pros to what he said, and there were cons to what he said. And like you said earlier, it wasn't against nobody. He just saw disrespectful to the American flag.
Right.
So I understand both sides.
Right. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of people. Look, me personally, like I said earlier, I feel like one don't have anything to do with the other. But they got a lot of people out there that are looking at it from the standpoint of Colin Kaepernick and some of the things that he actually believed in, and he no longer has a job. And all this stuff that's going on in the country right now, a lot of people feel like some of the things that Colin Kaepernick was standing up against, people were refusing to acknowledge. Now it happens, and all of a sudden everybody's like, like, how did this happen? But me, like I said, man, I'm just looking at it. I'm just trying to hear from it. I'm just telling people how a lot of people feel about this situation. But I do want to ask you this. The locker room. How do you feel about the locker room? I mean, Michael Thomas, Emmanuel Sanders, Alvin Kamara, Cam Jordan, Malcolm Jenkins all came out and said something. Do you think that this will cause a rift in the locker room?
Like I said, there's pros and cons to this whole thing because they are throwing back from history from 2016, and they're throwing it back in Drew's face again.
Right.
And that I understand, and as long as I can remember, even as long as Drew's been there, man, he's always had respect for the locker room. I think it might take a little bit of time, but I think these guys are brothers, man. In my opinion, I think they are family. They are brothers, and I think they'll squash it, I think. That's my opinion,
I mean, yeah. I mean, I feel you. Last question, man. I got last question for you. Did these comments by Drew Brees change your opinion about the quarterback?
No.
Okay. All right.
Because like I said, I see both pros and cons to everybody and how they, lashed out on Drew today with like Malcolm Jenkins, the big one right there,
Right.
And even during his interviews, it's not that he's showing disrespect. He's just upset with them, the way he put things. And I think, like you said, the media, man, they're always throwing stuff in people's face. They want them to forget about what's going on in the world. And
right.
Some people can't, Some
right.
people will hold grudges, but as a team-wise, I think they'll be okay, really. I think they'll bounce back. They're a big community. They're strong. They're a family, man.
Right.
Even they all stated that for years, man. They've always been brothers to one another.
Right. I mean,
I think they'll pull it through. It might take time. It might not be fully there all the way when the season starts, but he is the leader, though. So yes, I understand people will be kind of upset with him because he is the captain of that team. He is a leader in that community and everything else. So I don't have no problem with him. I mean, I see where he comes from and why he don't kneel, and that's understandable. But I never even knew why they even talked about kneeling during the national anthem again. I never even heard none of that from any of the athletes.
Because, like I said before, man, like what the media tries to do is because they see individuals that from all different colors and creeds. Man, they got people out there that are they're trying to be opportunists and riot and stuff like that. But for the most part, people that are protesting are from different walks of life. And these people are really trying to get justice in America. And I feel like when you bring stories like this, in my opinion, don't have absolutely nothing to do with the other because
No, it does not.
I mean, what does a flag have to do with what happened to George Floyd or some of these other individuals out here?
They made about the riot. Then they asked him a question about what happened in 2016 with Kaepernick.
Absolutely.
Like you said, media's trying to throw throw it out there for people to forget about these riots. Even here in Hawaii, they even threw a riot, but nobody. They all locked arms together and they all rolled together because out here, I guess Ohio's Ohio, bro, just like it would be anywhere else.
Right, man. I feel you, man.
People, they take way too much and destroy people's businesses and people's homes.
Yeah, I ain't about that.
Because that's them. But everybody else that does it, they're protesting for the rights of what happened.
Absolutely.
Everybody saw it.
Yep. And that's true, man. That's what they do. That's what a lot of times they do, man. In my opinion, like I feel like when there's levels of solidarity, that's when the problems start, and they want to bring up something else that keeps us divided.
Right. Like the question I had though, TJ, is freaking what happened? What would everybody think if it happened to them and their family? You know what I mean?
Right.
It could have been anybody.
Yep, that's the truth. Could have been anybody.
You know? I mean, how would you feel if that was your family member or my family member or someone else's family member, no matter what the race is?
Right.
You know?
I agree.
And I live in Hawaii for the past 7 years. I grew up in California. I was born in California. And I grew up in Indiana, so I have all cultures in me. You know, I've been around, and now I live in Hawaii where culture is just everything about this place, dude. There's so much people here that are just different races, and nobody really at each other's throat.
Man, that's good to hear. That's good to hear, man. But you know, once again, I appreciate you, you know, for your call and everything like that, man. You say you stay in Hawaii?
Yeah, Hawaii.
Okay, man. Well, man, call back anytime, man. I appreciate the call, man, and thank you, you know, for giving your opinion about the matter. Thank you so much, brother.
I'm always on there.
All right, man. Appreciate it.
Yeah, I even ask questions all the time, so, and you answer them just fine.
Hey, man. Hey, that's what I'm here for, man. Thank you so much.
Hey, no problem, TJ. Keep up the good work, bro.
All right. Thank you, man. Take care.
Yep.
Got another call. 504, you're on the line.
Oh, no. What's up, TJ? Glad to be on the show, man.
Hey, man. Thank you for calling in. We're talking about Drew Brees tonight, and did his comments actually change your opinion about the quarterback? So give me your thoughts on that, man.
Like everybody, I had to catch my breath first, man, because I always want to act under pure emotion, you know. But I'm able to love the team and also at the same time be able to call out stuff that I feel is just so horribly timed. It was so horribly timed, I actually thought that it was an old clip that people were pulling up.
Yeah.
I really did. You know, people were calling out the hypocrisy of companies using the black square and whatnot, so they were calling old stuff they did. So I was assuming this must be what they're talking about.
Right.
And it just completely, I just was like, why? Why? Really, bro? Really? And honestly, I hate to say this part, but you know, one of the things I went back to was the feeling of I had of selfishness towards Drew Brees the last few seasons, where I felt that I'm seeing in this cat some selfishness, but because he's been deified in our city, you can't really say that. We have to come on your show, and we hear a couple folks, you know, that'll say, "Yo, this dude's kind of crippling the team with these, you know, hitting that I might go, I might hold out type of stuff." And
right.
as players just going away, you can't sign them, and then the audacity, the testicular fortitude for a man who has played a sport and has not scored a single touchdown without a black man in his entire NFL career, living in a city that wouldn't be nothing without black people. How dare you not even fake for us like you understand? My grandpa was in World War II. My dad was in Vietnam. Hurt my heart. But he came back to New Orleans and he was a nigga. So how dare you flip the script and regurgitate something that has been proven to not even be what it's about? I also thought about that Drew Brees was also a tennis star. Maybe he should have stayed in the individual sport. Because right now, homie, only thing he's talking about is what he thinks about his family, his grandpa. You know what something I remember about his grandpa and them during World War II? The captive Germans rode with them, while my grandpa had to walk places. You understand what I'm saying?
Right.
So how dare you not even have the decency to fake right now and talk about your grandpa? Man, this dude needs to go. He needs to go, bro. I can't. This can't be fixed because 80% of the teammates, and like I say, you in a city, homie, that understands what this thing was really about, man.
Right.
We stepped 4 feet outside of Orleans Parish. You know how they gonna treat us in Jefferson Parish.
Right.
Go ask somebody, bro. Go ask somebody, Drew, about what was going on when we getting sniped crossing the bridge after Katrina. Go ask them, bro. So that's what I'm thinking about during that play, during the national anthem.
I mean, look.
Read the lyrics. Man, this dude got me so, bro. I had to watch my blood pressure, bro. I couldn't believe it. TJ, would you believe, bro, about 3 weeks ago, I was on NFL Shop, and the only option I had was Taysom or Drew. I was like, man, I know I'm a big dude. I'm 6'5". Let me go and order this Drew jersey. But I'm trying to call these people and send this thing back as soon as I can, man.
Man, wow, man. Look, I appreciate it, bro. Man, you spoke so profoundly, man, and I mean, I'm not here, man, tonight to try to go and debate anybody. I'm just here. I know a lot of people in the Who Dat Nation have the same type of frustrations as you, man. A lot of people have a lot of things that's weighing heavy on them since they heard these comments. And, I just want to give people a platform, man. And I want to say thank you for calling in.
Thank you for the platform, bro.
And thank you, man. I mean, you said a good little bit, man. You said it very well. But, man, you take care, brother.
You as well, man. Take care.
All right. Yeah, man. A lot of frustrated people. 786, you're on the State of the Saints.
Yeah, what's going on, TJ, bro? How you doing, my man?
How you doing, man? We're talking Drew Brees tonight.
Yeah, I know we're talking Drew Brees, but I'm mad as hell because that's my dog, bro.
Man,
that's
I hear you.
Dog.
I hear you.
And he just went out there and reiterated that shit from 2016 when he said it the first time.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just mad because I know he know, bro. I know he know that it ain't about the flag, dog. And you know that. We ain't stupid. We want as Saints fans to feel like, hey, bro, Drew Brees ain't know. He need to be educated. My brother, he in the locker room with all these black players who are woke. You know what's up, bro? But at the same time, I love the Drew Brees. Got me so conflicted right now, my dog. I'm so mad. I'm so upset. I don't know how to feel because I'm like, man, who don't want to root for Drew Brees in New Orleans? But with a mindset like that and the climate we got going on right now, this ain't looking good, my bro.
Nah, it's not.
This ain't looking good.
It's not looking good. I mean, I said it earlier. We as fans, like our voices are important, but these are the guys that got to go to war with you that got a problem with you and with your comments. Yeah. And let me ask you this: what do you think? How you think the locker room is going to be after these comments?
Oh, listen, it will be Andrew ass. It would be in his ass. Because let me tell you, Malcolm Jenkins is in that locker room. Cam Jordan in that locker room.
Yep.
You got players in that locker room who are very woke, and they love Drew Brees. Michael Thomas already went at him. It's not no going close. It's telling him, like, look, this our report. He don't know what he's talking about. Let's educate him. But we know he knows what he's talking about. So I know they go drill him when they get to him. They will let him know that they ain't rocking with that. And he gonna change. I'm gonna tell you, Drew Brees, he don't want his lessons to be hampered by this. He don't want people to think that this is what he is. So he gonna go out there and he gonna do the little run around and all he gotta do. I just wish they could find a way to mean it, man.
Right.
Because you gotta mean it. You gotta know that it's real what you're saying. You can't just say, let me reiterate what the players want to say. They would like to get some good grace and some good life. You need to go out there and really educate yourself. Because guess what? That dude that got killed, you saw it. Drew Brees Jr., you didn't show your kids wrong because you saw it.
Right.
That was unnecessary. And for you, when they ask the question about the flag, I get the flag. I get that you love the flag. I served, bro. I served in Iraq. And I get the flag. I get why people have pride for America and the sacrifice they people made. I made a sacrifice. But I was damned if I don't take a knee. And I know that he understands where I'm coming from. I know he'll understand it because his people serve. If he understands what they were serving, the flag means more than takes a knee. It means the right to take a knee. You feel me?
Right. I mean, I got.
Listen, bro, I'm not going to wait up too long because I'm at work. I'm trying to run me back in the room. But
I just wanted to say TJ, dog, you know I love this station. You know I love what y'all do. I
Man,
had to call
appreciate it,
in
man.
watch live on my mic, dog.
Man, appreciate it, man. Appreciate you calling in, and thank you, man. I mean, you said a lot of great things, and I mean, I appreciate you, using, the state of the Saints to let everybody know how you feel. Thank you so much, brother.
All right, good luck, dog. I'll see you later,
man. All right, take it easy, man. Yeah. Man, wow, man, a lot of frustrated people. A lot of man. Look, I know a lot of people are saying like, they agree with Drew Brees and, there's nothing wrong with what Drew Brees said, but it was just the timing in which he said it. And a lot of people are really up in arms right now and frustrated about the conditions of America. And it's rather Drew Brees don't know, don't show, or don't care what's going on in the hood. Like they said on Boys in the Hood. It's tough out here, man. People not taking it no more. People are calling people out. Okay, the battle lines are being drawn right now, and honestly, there's no gray area anymore. And man, look, like I said, man, to me, I'm just gonna let y'all know. To me, I feel like this is a really big deal. It's a really big deal. I know that a lot of people, they probably have their professionalism. They probably are going to keep their professionalism because at the end of the day, the NFL is about results. If you don't perform, you don't generate results, you don't get paid. You end up getting cut. You end up getting traded. I get all that. I mean, but Drew Brees, man, I mean, in the back of their mind, they're always going to be wondering to themselves, like, man, what kind of person is Drew Brees really? Like, what kind of person is in my locker room? I mean, some level of respect has been lost. 504, you're on the State of the Saints.
Oh, man. Brother Dan Saints, brother.
Hey, what's going on, man? How you doing?
I'm all right, bro. Drew Brees, bro.
Mm-hmm.
He just was talking as a selfish individual, bro. That's all it seems like to me, you know what I'm saying? It all started for mine when that first contract, he had a chance to sign Carl Nix, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Instead of him saying, look here, take Carl Nix, and just give me the rest, because you're going to get paid anyway.
Right.
And then the year that he held out on us, that kind of upset me. Like, no, the year before that, my bad. The year before that, he did the little training camp thing. When we did the little military training camp thing.
Right.
And then the next year, we lost our coach, and he held out on us.
Right.
We hit him the most at that time right there. As a team captain, he put that military thing again. He held out on us.
Right.
And all the showing now, all that just coming back into fruition. He just showed all that happened. The two colors came out. That's all that happened. Colors just came out. You can't even fuss it. He knows the climate of the nation is right now. You know what I'm saying?
Well, look, let me ask. No, I mean, now I'm not trying to make excuses for Drew Brees, but who's to say that he does? Like, I mean, I hate to say it like this, man, but we talk about privilege. Like I said, I don't want to make it one of these shows, but we talk about privilege. And we talk about people that are so disassociated with what's really going on in society to a point they don't know what the heck going on, or they really don't have their hand on the pulse. And sometimes you can be so far away and so distant to a point where you can't even imagine or, even realize the magnitude of what's going on. Now, shame on him if he doesn't. You know what I'm saying? If he doesn't understand what's going on, shame on him. But I'm gonna say, I mean, I really don't know. But I will say this: if he doesn't know, then there's a nice little word that a lot of people don't like to hear, but it's called privilege. It's privilege, man. If you don't know what's going on, but I mean, my question for you, man: do you think it's going to affect the locker room in your opinion? All these players came out.
Of course it's going to affect the locker room. You see at the point, I ain't going to lie, he ain't retired. I'm telling you, it's a different climate, bro. It's like, bro, that's the excuse, bro. Ain't no way in the world he don't know what's going on. I know people living in this, but you Drew Brees, you was bro, you know what's going on, bro. You're living in a predominantly black city, bro. You know what's going on. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
You know what's going on. All that when they say that to me, I look at it as an excuse for him.
Right.
Basically, that's how I look at it. So they supposed to
Yeah.
He was dead almost broke down in tears, but that hurt, bro.
Yeah. Yeah.
That man almost was in tears, man.
Yeah, I know.
You know what I'm saying? How can you can't, I don't know, the locker room's off from that. I can't respect you. You gotta respect your quarterback as a team. If you can't respect your quarterback, that's why we was winning, because they always respected Drew Brees.
Right.
Man, this man was the most beloved, now he was the most hated, bro. He was the most beloved player in the NFL, bro. People over time, bro. People was mad when he wasn't making these top 100s and all that. They was mad.
I was one of them, man. I've done so many shows on Drew Brees and how he got snubbed for this and that. Last question, man. I think this question is interesting. Do you think that week 1, Saints versus Tampa Bay Buccaneers, will Drew Brees get booed in the Superdome?
I think James Winston was getting on quarterback week 1.
Wow.
Wow.
That's a hot take.
It would be hard. It would be hard for the city to accept him, right? It's hard. It's like, look at this. This is like one of the biggest changes I ever saw, like, for other black community. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Now, him doing that, but I saw Ed Reed, bro. Ed Reed going on all that, bro. This is serious, bro.
Yeah.
I think he got to retire. Really,
Yeah.
He got to retire, bro, because it's hard for really some Saints fans who are not Drew Brees fans was already saying get him out of here. You know what I'm saying? It was already getting tired of this. He's old, ready to go. He was icing on the cake now.
Right. Yeah, man. That's real talk. But man, thank you so much for the call, man. I appreciate it. Thank you so much, man.
You know that.
All right, take care. Man. I mean, it's the truth. It's the truth, man. There's a lot of people out there that are changing their opinions about Drew Brees. I thought I would never see the day, but people are really upset with Drew Brees. It is unbelievable. Let's go back to the chat. Real quick. Let's see. Why you so worried if you not racist, man, Jerry? Look, man. Come on, like I don't want to see that energy in the chat. Okay, I do not want to see that energy in the chat. If we cannot have discussions and without going back and forth and stuff like that, then we, like that ain't cool, man. That's what's wrong with the world, in my opinion, today. We don't communicate with each other. We don't know how to communicate with each other without understanding and respecting people's opinions. So please respect each other's opinions. 228, you're on the State of the Saints.
What's going on, TJ?
Hey, how you doing, man? We're talking Drew Brees.
Before I get on that, I want to say big fan of your YouTube, your Facebook. I've been following you since I found you 2 months ago.
Oh man, thank you. Man, thank you so much, man. Like, man, that's humbling, man. Real talk. Thank you so much. Thank you. But we talking about Drew Brees, man, and did his comments change your opinion about the quarterback? What do you got to say about that?
Absolutely not. And I want to speak as a fellow black man who's also hurting from the take for George Floyd and the movement that is Black Lives Matter. Mm-hmm. Everybody who is trying to hammer Drew Brees right now, it's not really. It's more so just spitting out emotion than it is logic. There's a saying that my uncle used to tell me before he passed. Ignorance is not about what you don't know. It's about what you refuse to know. And people who do know Drew Brees, they played with him in the locker room. They know him as a player. They know him as a leader. They know that person. They know him as a person, as a man. So for them to say that this man is ignorant, this man needs to be canceled, this, that, and everything in between the 9 yards, it hurts me as a fellow black person. It hurts me as a Saints fan. I don't understand it. Drew Brees has done so much for the state of Louisiana, the New Orleans Saints locker room, the Saints fans nationwide. He has donated, he has inspired, and the fact that people want to see this man hang up dry, it tears my soul. Like if they would have watched the rest of that interview that Drew Brees gave, they would have seen that he said he stands with them. Just because he gave a personal viewpoint, that was might I direct question that the interviewer gave him. So it's not all on Drew Brees. It's with the interviewer, the media, of what the questions they asked him. He only answers what he's given. Okay, and people need to understand that. Is it something that you can argue that it was in the wrong place, wrong time? Maybe, but he still gave his honest opinion. He didn't hammer. He didn't really. What's the word I'm looking for? He's not an advocate for police brutality. He's not an advocate for saying, "Oh, black lives don't matter," or "all lives matter." None of that nonsense. He didn't advocate for that. He didn't indirectly imply it. He didn't directly apply it. But unfortunately, this is going to stick with Drew Brees for the rest of his career. And it's sad, but it's true. And he doesn't deserve that. He deserves to go out the way he came in and the way he made a name for himself. But now that's going to be forever tainted going forward from this point on.
I mean, you raised some interesting points, but you know, as many skins on a wall that Drew Brees has as a quarterback, as a philanthropist, as a humanitarian, a lot of people feel like that's the reason why he should understand the thoughts and the views of his teammates, man. Like you have people like Lance Moore, Marcus Colston of all, man. Marcus Colston don't comment on nothing. For Marcus Colston to actually talk about he's disappointed in Drew Brees, like Marcus freaking Colston. Like, I mean, Marcus Colston, we call him the quiet storm for a reason. So you have a lot of people that are really upset at his comments, and they feel like he should be culturally aware, you know what I'm saying, of what's going on in the world. I mean, even though Drew Brees, you know what I'm saying, may feel that way, it may have been in bad taste for him to acknowledge that at that time. I don't know. Like me personally, like I said earlier, I feel like one don't have absolutely nothing to do with the other, but you know, I feel like, you know, that could be just a way of getting our minds off what's really going on as far as needing, like, you know, certain legislation and stuff like that changed, but just wasn't the right time, man, to a lot of people. And he hurt a lot of people with his comments, man, because a lot of people, you know, I'm just saying how people feel. They felt like Drew Brees was on their side, and now they look at him as a Benedict Arnold. As fair or unfair as that may be, that's the way they look at it. You know, I mean, but that's just the way that it is. And man, you make, like I say, you make some very interesting points, man. I appreciate you calling in. Thank you so much.
I appreciate the time, DJ. Who that, man?
All right, who that? Yeah, man. I mean, that's a fan that's there to support Drew Brees. I mean, he made a lot of good points. You know, Drew Brees has done a lot of great things for the state of Louisiana. He's done a lot of things for all different types of people of different colors and creeds. He's even went overseas and did work. But all that cancels out. All that cancels out, man, when you out here doing stuff like that. That ain't cool, I guess. A lot of people upset about that. All right, man. This is my big brother, EJ Jones. What's going on, EJ?
What's up, man? How you doing?
Hey, man, what's going on, man? We talking Drew Brees, which I think you already know because you've been in the chat, and thank you so much, man, for holding down the chat. But want to get your opinion about Drew Brees, and how do you feel about it, brother?
I mean, well, it's right there in black and white, pretty much. When you say he's not for people disrespecting the flag, I mean, unbeknownst to him, I think he might have unintentionally created a lot of enemies. I would say people in the Who Dat community and people outside the Who Dat community who may have, you know, admired his prowess on the field and everything. But
right.
I mean, it's one thing to be good, you know, on the field. Everybody like what you do on the field and everything. But it's another to voice your opinion. That's where people really get a sense of how you feel personally away from the number 9 Drew Brees, breaking all the records and all as a person, pretty much. And yeah, we've seen the pictures of him and Trump and all this other kind of stuff, but it's different when you actually say these words in black and white.
Right.
I mean, a lot of people
I mean, I heard you say Colson was talking about. I mean, Colson, I ain't know that boy could talk.
Man, hey, thank you.
Colson talking about
That's my
Drew
point.
Brees. Colson fumble the ball, most he might do is slam a helmet.
Right.
I mean, but and then you got, I think, who's the other guy?
Lance Moore.
I seen Killer Mike did a on Sports Center or whatever. Seen that.
Mm-hmm.
He commented on it. I mean, you have different basketball players commenting on this other kind of stuff. I mean,
LeBron James.
And LeBron James.
Yep.
I mean, you think about it. All these people, just like we watching the NBA and all this other kind of stuff, during a week, all these NBA players, they got their favorite teams and everything too. I mean, we know LeBron James team, the Cowboys. We don't fault him for that. At the same time, you know he got admired Drew Brees.
Right.
I mean, a lot of people admire this guy.
Mm-hmm.
I don't care how, and I'm throwing this out here. I know they probably have a lot of people like this guy that I'm about to name drop.
Mm-hmm.
What if this was Peyton Manning that made these comments or whatever?
Yeah. Tom Brady.
People probably will react the same way.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe the climate probably wouldn't be like this.
Yeah.
But adding on to what's going on in the world and what he said, like I said, he made a lot of enemies today.
Yep.
Those same people that waved at him while he's jogging in St. Charles Avenue in downtown New Orleans. A lot of them guys ain't gonna be waving no more. I can just tell you that much.
Yeah.
I mean, it's doing anything that do whatever the hell he wants to in New Orleans past somebody got revoked. To be honest with you. But it's disappointing. I mean, I say this about everything. Nothing surprises me. What people say, what people do.
Yeah.
I mean, I always think about Charles Barkley. He said, I'm not a role model. He said it himself, he's not a role model or whatever.
Yeah.
He got his own thoughts and opinions and everything. But come a point where you gotta be mindful about, I guess, what you posting and everything. No matter how much personal it is or whatever. I mean, it's kind of, he in a slippery slope right now. Everybody have to watch what they say and how they say it.
Yeah.
I mean,
I'm like, I'm like, what in the hell are you thinking? Talking about this right now, and I mean, everybody is on edge right now. Everybody is frustrated. Everybody is like looking at what happened to George Floyd, and people are like protesting in the street. You got people riding from coast to coast. People are trying to get their voice heard, and yet you come out here with that, man. Like, it just didn't make sense. It did not make sense at all. At all.
To defend the flag. I'm gonna be on my social studies history thing right now because that's what I teach. What this flag signifies in this country, I mean, I don't want to send no lessons, but I gotta say this.
Mm-hmm.
What the American flag signifies in this country, there's not a damn thing positive about it. Our ancestors, first of all, was kidnapped, brought to this country to be slaves and be beaten, and you already know the rest. I'm not going to even go into it, but we built this country. Our blood stains the streets of every street in this country or whatever. We built, without us, this country will not exist. I mean, we built, I could rattle all names for being on this call all night, but that flag signifies being sprung from trees, being harassed by police, being racially profiled, being put in handcuffs even before you know what the hell happened. I mean, being stopped. I had police today. Damn, this stopped me driving so close. If I would have taken a break to live, they would have ran to the back of me trying to run my plate. So all I was doing was coming from the park, listening to an audiobook at the park or whatever. That's what I was doing. So it's crazy, but that's what the flag represents to black people.
Right.
We don't have the same respect for that flag as white people do, as some white people do. Now, I would assume some white people, I don't know, but I know most black people, the guy from the Olympics in 1968, I forget his name, last name, Schmidt.
Right.
He held up that fist because that was a protest. Colin Kaepernick, he got on the knee because that was a protest. I mean, you shouldn't turn a blind eye just because, if you kneel
and don't stand for the flag when there's a disrespect. Yeah, it's a disrespect. We've been disrespected for how many centuries now?
Man, sure. What they
So
say,
that's the
401
flag.
years, right? 1619 is when we came. So
Ever since we've been in this country, bro. I mean, that's what that flag signifies. And that's what it means.
right.
That's what it means to me or whatever. I mean, until they change it, that's what it's gonna signify to me. That's what those stars and stripes mean.
Yeah. I mean, man, you made some interesting points, E. You know, I appreciate you, calling in. You know, I got a couple more people I know they want to, vent and, and chime in and stuff like that. But thank you so much. I just wanted to get you on the show and, just get your perspective about it, man. We'll talk a little bit more about it, down the line, brother. I love you, man.
All right, man. Me too, man.
All right, take care. All right, take care.
All right.
Yeah. Hey, man, that's my oldest brother right there. That's EJ Jones. Thank him for, giving his opinion about Drew Brees, man. It's a lot of people out there that are very upset about this, man. Very upset. 425, you're on the State of the Saints.
Man, I didn't think I was going to get on, man.
I apologize, man. I apologize. On this line, I only can take one at a time, and my brother EJ Jones just called, man. So I apologize for that. But and we're talking about Drew Brees. What you got to say about it, man?
Well, for sure, man. I'm happy that finally we got on code, man. We got to start holding these people accountable. That's our issue as a people. They do whatever they want. They say whatever they want with no repercussions. So I'm looking at the NFL like, man, it's 80% black folks.
Yeah.
How dare they do your brother cap like that?
Yeah.
Y'all don't do anything. So it's better late than never. I'm telling all my other Caucasian brothers, y'all better get on your best behaviors. Because I like this new awakening. I hope it continues. And man, it's long overdue.
Yeah.
It's real tough.
Yeah,
long
man.
Overdue.
Yeah, I agree.
How we feel, man, every day how we go. Just a simple stat I want to throw out there. I was reading earlier today that what was it? A black person with a 4-year degree earns less than or the same as a person with a white person with a high school diploma. I mean, from every sector in society.
Wow.
Man,
Wow.
it's always a challenge. I mean, if we get harsher penalties and we get harsher sentences, we get as kids, man, they discipline us harsher. They'll suspend us easier. Harder to get a job. I mean, that flag don't really represent black people. That's their flag, as far as I'm concerned. It's just a piece of cloth waving. It means everything to them, but we ain't included. So I hope people keep on staying on code, man. And I just want this wave to ride, man.
Yeah, man. I agree. Man, that's real talk right there. Thank you so much, brother, for your comments, and I hope somebody listening to that right now, man, and you touch somebody. I appreciate that.
Yeah, just one last thing.
Yeah, go ahead, man. Go ahead.
We got the right. Anybody who's talking about, you keep cancel culture, you're damn right. Get on your best behavior. We got the right to boycott anybody, and we the trendsetters out here.
Yep.
Don't get it twisted. Y'all don't do shit, but I'm sorry, I don't want to get off on a tangent.
Yeah.
You be good, bro.
All right, man. Take it easy, man. All right. Yeah, man. You tell that brother a little fired up, man. What I can understand, man. I mean, there's a lot of tension going on out here. That's why I'm giving up people opportunity to vent their frustrations. And once again, I apologize. I only can take one call at a time. So if you keep calling in and I don't answer, it's because somebody else is on the line. 601, you're on the State of the Saints.
TJ Jones, the host of Enlightenment. How are you, my friend?
Hey, how you doing, man?
Hey, doing real well. It's definitely a sad day for the Who Dat Nation all the way around, my man. First off, just gotta say big ups to you. You listening to you talk, and you keep it even kill all the time, and always keeping it 100. Telling the fans, hey, y'all need to back off of this. Hey, I'd like to hear a little bit more, energy on that.
Yeah.
And one thing I can say about that, always tuning into you, man. You keep it real. You keep it very 100, my friend.
and kept us going through COVID. We was all locked in, talking good old fashioned Saints football, and that's what's up.
Yeah,
And
man.
this subject, man, this is a topic that it's the one that everybody really don't want to get into, but it needs to be discussed.
Yeah.
And look, it's like this. Straight up, I'm upset with the Saints team right now as a whole. Our locker room was the apex of locker rooms in the NFL.
Yep.
And I'm with you 100%. Drew Brees is a white man. There's no way in the world he's going to know any of these things. And, hey, one thing Al Sharpton said is the white people that upset him the most is the ones that just humor him. They just nod their head, absolutely, whatever. When he knows they're full of crap and they don't see it his way. Those are the ones that really aggravate him. I give Drew Brees 100 for just, hey, this is how I feel.
Right.
The man just donated $5 million to the community. He chose the community over Miami, and he gave us people in New Orleans, like myself and everybody else, hope, something to live for as far as, tuning in on Sundays and enjoying some good Saints football.
Right.
He made us relevant and something nobody can ever take away from us, especially the Dirty Birds. We're champions. We'll never be looked at as a losing organization to him. Every record he broke, black and white, the teams came together, they hugged, they loved on each other, and they embraced. We embraced him, he embraced us.
Right.
The timing of this, though, was ignorance at its finest. And, I can honestly sit here and say, what's going on right now, and as a white man who is, like Drew Brees, who's in the constant spotlight, and ESPN, he should have known. Like you said, everybody's grabbing for something to report on the news.
Right.
And I'm sure Stephen A. Smith and all those guys and more are going to tear him a new one for his this. I mean, he'll come up with the whole trade rumors. Oh, I'm hearing that Sean Payton's wanting to just cut him right now. All of it probably not even true.
Yeah.
But he did this to himself. He did this to himself, and he's going to have to repair this. And I believe he can. I believe he can. This is a gaffe that he made. He should have thought about this better. The only other thing that I would say, why I say this is kind of a Saints deal as a whole, there's no way Drew Brees is going to know the struggle unless it is talked about to him, sat down one-on-one. Look, man, this is how you see this. Let me educate you on why I feel you're wrong. It's called dialogue. And I feel like a lot of that right now is just being thrown out the window. And I really wish his teammates right now, they're destroying him.
Yeah.
And everybody,
I
feel
did.
like this is going to be one of these things. I'm sorry?
Now I say, they did. I was agreeing with you. They definitely did that. Yeah.
I feel like this is going to be one of them things where, and I hope I'm right, but they're going to wake up in the morning and realize, man, I should have just called him up. We should have discussed this. We're closer than this. Because everybody on that team with Brees seems like they're very, very close. And all they've done is, all of them as a whole, Brees, the teammates, they put gas on a fire that didn't even need to be lit. And all it takes is one match. This is going to be a dumpster fire tomorrow, DJ.
Yeah.
And I'm going to tell you right now, New Orleans Saints will be the topic of the NFL for probably the next week and a half for news that we don't need. And so, I just wanted to get your thoughts on, as far as, I know you was asking, like, this can be repaired. I think so. It's not like we're talking Riley Cooper over here.
Yeah. Good point.
The man gave his opinion, and he gave a reason why he said his opinion. I don't feel like he blew anybody off or anything like that. I feel like Brees is smart enough that he loves his teammates.
Yeah.
I feel like his teammates do love him, but they're real pissed. And so I just feel like when good men sit down together and discuss things, good outcomes will happen.
Right.
And people walk away enlightened by, okay, well, this is how you saw it.
oh, I understand what you're talking about now from all parties. So, that's just, I wanted to share that. And, hey, all I can say is we still go in the South. We still the baddest team in the NFC.
Yeah.
And, right now, this is no different than any other hurdle the Saints have had to face. But at the end of the day, I still say the Who Dat Nation is the strongest they is.
Yeah.
And they hate us because they ain't us. And at the end of the day, it's Who Dat.
Who Dat.
I love all my Who Dat brothers and sisters. And TJ, thank you for taking my call, brother.
Man, thank you so much, man. Appreciate the call.
All right.
Take care. Yeah, man. Yeah, they're gonna tear Drew Brees up tomorrow. Man, if you're looking at this video on a Wednesday, they're gonna tear him up. I'm recording this on a Wednesday night. They're gonna tear him up on Thursday morning. Whoo. Anyway, yeah, man. I mean, this is one of those tough conversations to have, man. It's a conversation that a lot of people don't want to have. It makes them feel uncomfortable. A lot of people say, man, why we can't move on from this? A lot of people are really upset and they do not want to move on, man. Like, they want these situations to be addressed. I don't care what show you watching. You can probably watch more reruns and escape this, but for the most part, there's so many people, all different outlets are talking about what happened to George Floyd. And once again, I understand we're talking about Drew Brees because this is the state of the Saints, but let's stay focused. Demario Davis said it best. He says it's unfortunate what happened with Drew, but we need to stay focused on the task at hand, okay? We can't get so lost in the sauce of Drew Brees that we forget about what we are fighting for as people. And that is that we want equality. We want proper justice to be served on the behalf of Big George Floyd. Don't forget that. Do not forget that. Like, as a man, as a black man, I'm very upset at what I heard from Drew Brees, okay? Because I'm going to just be honest with y'all, because if you follow the state of the Saints, I consider you family. Ever since that whole situation with George Floyd, I can do nothing but just look at my son. And it takes everything in me not to shed a tear. Because I weep for the world that he's going to have to grow up in. I weep for the fact that one day I'm going to have to tell my son that there are people in this world that are not going to like you just because of the color of your skin. And they have absolutely nothing to do with how you present yourself, how you talk to them. Rather you tell them yes, sir, no, sir. Rather you walk around with dignity and class. They are not going to like you just because of the color of your skin. And that is a tough conversation that I don't want to have with my son. But ever since this situation happened, a part of me just wish that he can just stay a 1-year-old child forever. And I can protect him. It's tough. I know, like I say, I know a lot of people out here don't want to hear this, but it is tough being profiled. It is tough being watched. It is tough for people to look at you and say, and come up with these different type of, different scenarios about you. And it's so far from the truth. And when we look at these situations over and over again, like what happened with George Floyd and Elton Sterling and all these other people, man, Freddie Gray and all these other people that lost their lives at the hands of the police and nothing happens. People are tired. People are frustrated. People want change. And just don't think that it just starts with just people that may not have a bunch of money. At the end of the day, those NFL players, they may be rich beyond our wildest dreams. They can buy things that we can't even think about buying. But before they were in that position, a lot of them came from poverty-stricken areas. A lot of them had to fight and claw and scratch their way to where they are in this world, and they're not going to ever forget that. And when Drew Brees says stuff like that, it hurts them. It hurts them not only because he's their teammate, but he knows them. And he probably knows how that affects them. So for him to show little to no sympathy towards these situations, it upsets a lot of people. It does, man. You know, like I said, don't get lost in the sauce of this whole flag situation, man. About taking knees, who took a knee, who not gonna take a knee. Like, who cares? Like, honestly, man, most of the people that you talk about in the military don't even care about that. They're not over there fighting for a flag. They're over there fighting for equality. It has absolutely nothing to do with a flag. Flags are being put together right now at somebody's sweatshop or factory somewhere. But the life of a human being, that is more precious than something that can constantly be made like a flag. Right now, man, we have to really focus and really do some soul searching, man. And really decide what kind of country, what kind of world we want to be. It was hurtful. Drew Brees hurt a lot of people, folks. 225, you're on the State of the Saints.
Yo.
Yeah, man, we're talking Drew Brees. How you doing?
Doing good, TJ, man. Always wanted to call me.
Yeah, man, appreciate it, man. Thank you so much for calling in. Like I said, we're talking Drew Brees, and the question of the night is, did his comments change your opinion about him?
Is it what?
Did it change your opinion about the quarterback? His comments about the American flag?
Yeah, sadly it did.
Yeah, man. So
it didn't show. It didn't show me he was a racist. I don't think Drew Brees is racist.
Nah.
And I think that's how a lot of white people are, not racist but ignorant. Not all of them, but the silent majority. They're tone deaf.
Yeah.
And no, it's like people that keep saying all lives matter. Yeah, we do know all lives matter. But at the end of the day, you know, it's black lives is the main issue.
Right.
Because that's the issue that's been happening since the 1950s.
Right.
You know, at first it was the KKK.
And
there he was expansion. You know, white wolves to hide themselves because they're cowards.
Right.
Rottweilers and burning crosses, and they traded that in for canines and badges with uniforms. You know, and what's crazy is that, you know, slavery ended 150 years ago, and the civil rights movement that happened 60 years ago.
Yep.
And it's like, no, black people aren't in bondage, but the effects are still there.
Yep.
You know, the brokenness in the family, all that. Because, you know, our leaders, because, like, there's no leaders.
Yep.
Now, our leaders were either assassinated or killed.
That's true.
And, like Malcolm X or Martin Luther King, say whatever you want, but those people tried to build us up.
Yep.
You know, thank God for Martin Luther King integrating us, because, you know, we need all the support we can get.
Right.
That's what America is. But Malcolm X, you know, he preached about, you know, black unity.
Right.
And stuff like that. And to hear Drew Brees say that, like, I've never been disappointed in someone so hard like Drew Brees. For him to say that.
Wow.
And you know it's gonna be a big problem when he gets to the locker room. Because there are multiple leaders that he's not the only leader like how it used to be. So, you know, people are not gonna back down, kumbaya, this or that. You know, Malcolm Jenkins is there, you know.
Right.
He is the leader of the defense.
Yep.
And you know, Drew Brees still hasn't apologized yet.
Yep.
He still hasn't apologized.
Yeah.
And I'm sick of tired of people, you know, thinking they can say things like that.
Yeah, I mean,
I
look,
think it's just ridiculous.
I too think it's ridiculous, you know, that he didn't come out, but it's probably best that he didn't come out right then and there. because it would have just looked like, oh, I'm just doing this based on, Twitter reacting to how it did. So that for that reason, you know what I'm saying, I understand. But I do agree with what you're saying about the leaders because we all realized that Drew Brees went down 5 games and we seen Demario Davis step up in the middle of the circle, a place that Drew Brees has had since he came to the Saints in 2006. And it seemed like to me like the message that he was giving, I mean, they were out there running wild, you know what I'm saying? Like, so there's a lot of people in that locker room that feel a certain way, and also there are a lot of guys in that locker room that stand on the front lines of social justice issues all the time. I mean, Demario Davis, like I said, him along with Josh Norman, I mean, they were giving water to Flint, Michigan, and I mean, this guys went on Capitol Hill to discuss certain issues of social justice. So I'm very interested to know. I mean, even Malcolm Jenkins, man, one of the heads of the Player Association. I mean, you got all these guys up in your locker room. I mean, Drew Brees. I'm pretty sure, like you said, I don't know if it was you or someone else said. I mean, I don't think that he's racist. I don't think he's racist at all. But I do think that he's ignorant to the fact. And like I said, sometimes when you're making a lot of money, when
talking about my grandparents fought for a flag.
mm,
Like my great grandparents fought for the in World War II too.
right,
Your great grandparents fought. So
right,
every African American that you see, if you walk down the street, you see another black person. 9 times out of 10, their great grandfather or their grandparents or whoever, they fought in these wars. They were dragged into these wars. We're fighting our government's wars,
right,
and they get to come home to a hero's welcome. Like the invasion of Normandy,
mm-hmm,
or fighting in the Pacific Wars against the Japanese,
right,
or just fighting in Europe in general. They get a hero's welcome.
yep,
But black people come home, they still got to sit on the back of the bus. They still got to be segregated. They still got to worry about being lynched by these crazy white mobs, things of that nature. So hearing him say that, because I was hearing what you were saying about a piece of flag. And yeah, you can say that too, but if you really want to look truly deep, because this country was founded off of liberty and justice,
yep,
the preamble and Declaration of Independence,
that's true.
and it's very mind-boggling, and it's calling the pot and the kettle black.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not probably butchering it, I don't care, but you got these white colonists rioting, protesting. They dumped hot tar on the British soldiers. They destroyed millions of dollars worth of teeth. And hundreds of years later, we're calling them patriots.
Yep.
Because they rebelled against their government. And what you see now, you see all this rioting and stuff. People are going to call them, traitors. They're going to call that disrespectful. Like, how do you think we got our Civil Rights Act, like the Civil Rights Act of 1968? They assassinated Martin Luther King.
Mm-hmm.
You needed Martin Luther King to do his protest. It was peaceful. But after they killed him, they rioted for a week.
Right.
And $45 million worth of damages were shown. And they had to push it through.
Yep.
They had to. If you look at history, that's how justice comes. Because if the top can't open the clouds and let the sun fall down, the bottom has to open itself up so it can shoot up.
Right.
Yeah,
I mean that's the truth, man. I mean that's man, it's tough. Like you said, I agree with what you're saying. There's so many people that were affected by what Drew Brees said. This isn't just about a flag. It's about the emotions of everybody right now. And like I was saying earlier, the battle lines are drawn. Man, people are looking for allies. People are looking for individuals that are speaking up in the name of equality. Nobody wants to hear about you saying the right things to protect your brand or your image or life after football or walk-ons or Jimmy Johns. Nobody ain't trying to hear that, man. Like nobody cares about that kind of stuff. They say, I mean, Drew Brees prides himself out of being a man of faith. But they always say, the Bible says, what does a man profit if he gains the whole world and loses his soul? So I feel like if you're going to be talking about, religion, or you want to talk about values, you know, it tells you right there, like, and if you want to talk about, being a rebel or being for a cause, I mean, if you're into the Bible, I mean, who was a bigger rebel for the cause than Jesus Christ? So, I mean, I don't know, man. But thank you very much for your call. I appreciate you dropping some knowledge on us too, man. All right, take it easy, brother. Yeah, man, that brother dropped some knowledge, man. I mean, he went back to talk about the Civil Rights Act of 1964. I mean, we know about the Voters' Rights Act of '65. It just, man, I'm just so. I mean, I don't know. I mean, so many great calls tonight. So many people had something to say. Man, it was a tough subject. It's a tough subject for a lot of people. It's a hurtful subject for a lot of people. But I mean, it is what it is. 601, you're on the State of the Saints.
Yes.
Hey man, hey everybody. Want y'all to welcome my mother to the State of the Saints podcast. She wanted to talk tonight. Well, she always want to talk, but hey ma, how you doing?
Hi, sweetheart. How are you?
Yeah, I'm doing okay. Ma, we talking about Drew Brees. I'm pretty sure you probably been listening. Just want to get your thoughts on Drew Brees and the comments and how they make you feel as a Saints fan.
Well, as a Saints fan, it was kind of shocking to me that that's the side that he took.
Mm-hmm.
But in all fairness, he has a right to take whatever side that he wants to take.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think that kneeling disrespects the flag. Like you said about kneeling being disrespectful to the flag, I don't think that's true.
Mm-hmm.
I think that it only brings attention to the moment that something needs to be addressed.
Right.
And not just for one group, but for the collective group, because we're all supposed to be Americans.
Right.
But we know, although we're all supposed to be Americans, we know that there are some gray areas in between. We love Drew Brees.
Mm-hmm.
We love him. He's our guy. He's coming. He's rallied all of us together, and he's given us a sense of unity together.
Mm-hmm.
And when you love someone like the city of New Orleans loves Drew Brees,
Mm-hmm.
you think that you all know each other. You think you all have that understanding and that kinship together.
Right.
And for him to do what he did and say what he said, I know it's kind of jarring to some people. But you feel like that's my guy. I thought, we thought the same way and everything, but we don't know how he thinks.
Mm.
Just because he said what he said, it doesn't make him a racist.
Yeah.
It just makes him a person with an opinion.
Mm-hmm.
And as family, we don't all have to agree.
Right.
All the time. We have a right to our opinions about what we feel is right for us.
Right.
Now, Drew is a football player. Let's be real. He's a football player. We love him. He's not our buddy. We only know him from seeing him on the field. Maybe seeing him in a Walmart, seeing him around. He's a good guy.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, we have to be mindful that football is a game, even though it runs through our blood.
Right.
We all family in New Orleans. We the Who That Nation and all that.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, we have to let this man have his opinion. I'm frankly, as a African American person,
Mm-hmm.
with everything that's going on, and I don't want to get too political because then I can go there.
Right.
But I saw a picture today too with him in a photo with somebody that I won't say that really made me really look at him in a whole new light.
Mm-hmm.
And I really wondered what's behind the smile and what's behind the kinship and the friendship that we thought we had with this fella.
Mm.
But like I said, he has a right to say what he wants to say, to feel what he wants to feel. He has an opinion. And we have to just suck it up sometimes that our family won't always agree in the way that we agree.
Mm-hmm.
I may be wrong, I'm an old woman, but I have to sit back and look at some things. I've seen some things in life, and I've learned that sometimes we just have to take a thing for what it is.
Right.
You know, I know this is a football show, and like I said, I'm mom, and I can only look at things the way I see things.
Right.
So if I see anything to offend anybody, I do apologize. But Drew has a right to feel the way he feels. But like I said before, if a person takes a knee, it doesn't mean that there's disrespect in a flag. It's only to bring attention that something needs to be addressed at the moment.
Right.
Look at what's going on now. Something happened. And then after something happened, something else happened.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? It's a consequences for all actions. And I'm sure down the line, he's going to get some consequences for his comments. Some people are going to be forgiving.
Mm-hmm.
Some people are not going to be forgiving. Some people are going to watch. Some people are going to want to watch. Some people are going to watch with a lump in their throat. And somebody is going to watch with tears in their eyes.
Right.
Because now they don't know what they're looking at when they look at what they thought was their guy.
Yeah.
That's all I have to say.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that was very profound, Ma. I appreciate you calling, and thank you so much for your support, and thank you for giving everybody their opinion. I mean, you making a lot of fans here in the chat from what I see. So a lot of people are supporting you right now. So thank you so much, Ma. I love you. Thank you for calling in.
I love you too, and I love your chat room group. Thank you for supporting my baby.
All right, take care, Ma. Boy, you know it's a special edition of the State of Saints podcast with my mama calling in. And my mama want to give her perspective. Look, we're probably about to get up out of here. I'm going to take one more phone call. The next person that calls in, we're going to take one more phone call, and then we're going to go ahead and wrap it up. And I'll give my final thoughts about this. I see someone calling in right now. 787, you're on the State of the Saints.
How's it going, TJ?
Hey, how you doing?
Be talking with you, man.
Hey, how you doing, man? Thank you.
Good.
Thank you so much for calling in, man. We're talking about Drew Brees tonight and his comments. And did his comments change your opinion about him?
Man, so many emotions right now. Honestly, it's so hard to fathom that somebody like Drew Brees that we all look up to, the symbol of leadership, of everything that was supposed to be right with our culture, with New Orleans, when he says something like this, I think it's just sad, man. I think it's just sad. And I really hope that out of this situation, something positive can come out. I think that right now, there's an opportunity for the team to have some dialogue, to come together. I think it's like a microcosm of our society right now when you have people that think like Drew, and then you have people who think like you and me,
Right.
If they can come together and change Drew's mind and reach, some consensus and some unity, I think it'll be even better moving forward, man.
Yeah.
I think it'll be better because I think this nation needs dialogue, and I think this team right now is going through what a lot of people are going through, man.
Right.
A lot of people are going through. People with different opinions, they need to come together and unite, man.
Yeah.
Unite.
I agree.
And,
I feel like, communication is the key here. According to sources, Sean Payton and the New Orleans Saints organization, they called an emergency virtual Zoom meeting with all of the players so they can kind of get some dialogue going. So hopefully they can find a common ground. But it is going to be an uphill battle, uphill battle for Drew Brees, in my opinion. I think some of the respect that he had in the locker room, he lost a little bit of that. I think guys are going to rally together in the name of professionalism. These guys are professional. These guys want to be winners, want to win championships. So that's a plus. But, man, it's going to be rough, man. But they got to communicate. And also with us as well, man. That's how we're going to get through this. We got to communicate with one another. We got to try to understand each other. We can't just walk around as if we're the smartest person in the room. We should value people's opinion, whether we agree with it or not. And when the conversation is over, we can agree to disagree. But like, I don't believe Drew Brees is a racist or anything like that. I just feel like he was just, to me, just a little bit misinformed, and also, man, just wasn't the right time to have that conversation. It just wasn't the right time. Yeah, man. But I appreciate you so much, man. Thank you for calling in, giving your take on it, and call back anytime, brother.
Thank you, man. Appreciate it.
All right. Yeah, man. That's man. Man, everybody calling in tonight. I mean, first off, I'm extremely humbled by the number of phone calls that I got tonight. You're giving your opinion on Drew Brees, and I just want to say to each and every one of you right now, man, I know a lot of people are hurting. I know a lot of people are frustrated. But let's rally around one another, man. Let's not tear each other down. Let's not talk about each other based on each other's personal views or whatever political views. Like, that's not going to get us anywhere. That is only making the situation worse, okay? We need to sit down, like Martin Luther King said, at the table of brotherhood and talk and have these conversations and have tough conversations and try to find solutions to these problems. And we shouldn't ignore them or ignore anybody else's point of view just because we don't agree with it, okay? We need to show love to one another. And that's something I think that we all need to do. But let me go ahead and read a little bit of the chat real quick, and then we'll get up out of here. I want to make sure that I'm giving people the respect here. I know a lot of people are in the chat right now. Drew on CNN right now. CNN is garbage. The only idiots out there are the ones who riot. CNN is trash. Love you, Mama TJ. A lot of shots out to my mom. Burn number 9. Now I don't agree with that, man. Let's not go too far with this. Let's not go too far with this. Talking about burning nothing, man. I mean, I don't know. Like I don't. I mean, every person have a right to their opinion, I guess. I don't know about burning his jersey. And as far as like cancel culture, I understand that. I don't think anybody is going to be talking about canceling. I don't think Drew Brees is going to be fully canceled. But I do think that a lot of people that think a certain way about him, I mean, he changed their minds about him. And I'm very interested, man. I'm very interested to know if Drew Brees is going to get booed in the Superdome. That's what I want to know right now. Real quick in the chat. Week 1, Saints versus Buccaneers. Do you think that Drew Brees will be booed in the Superdome? Do you think he'll be booed? Somebody said boycott Jimmy John's. That's interesting. That is interesting, man. That is very, very interesting. Will they boycott Jimmy John's? I mean, boycott walk-ons. First off, I would never burn anything I paid for. I worked too hard for mine. I hear you on that, man. He definitely wore his welcome out with me. Wow. Man. Wow, man. I mean, a lot of people were a little bit sour on Drew Brees anyway. Maybe because of the wild card game against the Vikings and how horrible he played. And, I mean, a lot of people, were very upset with him over that. So, I mean, this was just gasoline already on the fire right now. I just hope they don't cause the team chemistry problems this season. Yeah, me too, man. That's the biggest issue. Brees is a man, not a god. That's true. I mean, a lot of people in New Orleans and Saints fans look as him. I think one of the callers said as a deity. That's a good point. We feel like he's beyond anything, selfish, or we can't look past. I mean, we can't look at his imperfections. All we see is the guy that led a struggling franchise to the Super Bowl, and we're forever indebted to him because of that. Don't know, haters will know, no doubt. And how he laughed after we lost too. I see Dante Stallworth now. Wow. Very interesting, man. But if you got any questions or concerns or anything like that in regards to Drew Brees, and maybe you thought about a question that you wanted to ask, in the middle of the day or something like that, you can always email me, stateofthesaints@gmail.com. Also, you can go to facebook.com, search the State of the Saints podcast also, and you can check out, State of the Saints podcast, follow the page, support the State of the Saints podcast. Subscribe to the YouTube channel, of course. That's very important. Thank for those that have subscribed to the YouTube channel tonight. And thank you for everybody that called in tonight. That meant so much. And thank y'all, for venting your frustrations and everything like that, because that's important, man, to let it out. And let people know how you feel about the situation. Like I said, rather a person agree with you or not, I mean, we're all in this together. And, let's remember that. But I am TJ Jones, the host of the State of the Saints podcast. Everybody have a great night, evening, or morning, wherever you're looking at this. And all I got to say is, who dat?